City Council meeting to order for Monday, April 5th. Roll call, please.
Mayor Anderson, Troy Loon,
Here.
Gerald DeLee,
Here.
Troy Doden,
Here.
Art Schott,
Here.
Teresa Sweden, and Mike Tiedemann.
Here. Thank you. There's only one thing on the agenda to adopt or add, and that's under the committee reports. The street department committee met, so we'll have a report there. Is there any other changes to the agenda? Can I have a motion to adopt the agenda?
Motion to adopt the agenda.
Okay.
Motion's been made and seconded to adopt the agenda. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion to approve the minutes from the March 15th, 2021 meeting.
Doden moves to approve the minutes from March 15th, 2021 meeting. Doden second.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve the minutes from the March 15th, 2021 meeting. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Visitors to be heard, Joanne Paulson and Robert J.
Oh, great, okay. Well, I have a quote from the bounce arounds. I only have 4 copies. My printer's on the fritz, so I might need to share a little. We changed some things from last year. I asked them to add in a couple of games instead of complete bounce arounds. We wanted some games for a little bit of the other kids, you know, that come and so this was their quote, and that is, I think it's $4,000, but then with non-tax, I'm sure it'll be different. But we paid the deposit, and last year the city paid $3,000 something, and so I told her I wanted to stay in that number, and that's what she sent me. And there's always can be adjustments, but they took out 1 bounce around and added in 2 games, so trying to just make it a little more variety for everybody. And I figured since we weren't spending out $750 for porta potties, maybe we could make a little adjustment here.
That bathroom didn't be done by the engineer?
Hope so.
That's what Greg told me.
That's what I've been hearing too.
Unless something would go wrong with the manufacturing process. But I assume we'll have
So we're at the end of July, so July 31st. So hopefully your new bathrooms are, you know, come along. If I have to, I would like to know, because then I gotta add porta potties onto the truck.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
So to be clear, Joanne, the $4,041, that includes sales tax. Is that correct?
That includes,
sales tax?
I don't see it there, but this line item there says after tax.
That's what I see too.
So,
Because there shouldn't be any sales tax in the city, is that correct?
That's right.
right, and she does have, you know, there's like cents on there, but everything is like 150, 250, 280, no cents. So I'm assuming that is, I don't know for sure.
They don't really have it itemized where the $280 came from. Oh, I see what they did here.
Yeah,
So they took off the 18-foot slide, the 3-ball wipeout, the radical rush obstacle course, added carnival games, added the staffing. That's where they come up with the 280.
yeah,
Add that to your original price of $37.61. I got you.
yeah.
Also, okay,
So the 4041 is the number.
that is the number then, okay.
Where did we pay for that out of last year, Jerry?
So we have a subsidy for the old fashioned weekend.
Oh,
It was 3,700 and something. We paid, the chamber paid the down payment of 700, and then I had to do an additional 100 and something, but the city paid 3,000.
But we budgeted
Yeah,
in a subsidy.
okay.
Did we take it out? Was it that, or did we take it out of the city council thing last year?
Last year was contingency.
But now we got something in the budget for it.
How much is in there?
Maybe we'll go like I'm thinking.
Well, it doesn't matter.
So you're requesting a certain amount plus the bathrooms added in, which comes.
the bathroom's not added in right now because you should have new facilities for
Oh,
that.
so we're not gonna have to pay for that. That's what I'm asking.
I get it, I know.
So what's the story?
Well, I mean, if the bathrooms are finished, then I'm not gonna worry about a bathroom, but I may have to come back and request a little bit more money if I have to add porta potties to that.
Oh, alright.
We budgeted 3,500.
Oh, well, I was thinking 3,000, so that's okay.
How much is in our city council fund? I don't remember.
Like, we spent some of that already this year on something. What was it?
Oh, the employee cards.
Was that in this year or last year?
That would have been last year.
Last year, after that Christmas.
So the council's budget is 71,000, but you've got other current expenses of 5,000.
We've only spent 5,000 of our contingency.
Contingency funds is 30,000,
Oh, okay.
so there's room.
Well, we set aside 3,500 for the equipment, so we'll just.
Well, that's it for that weekend.
Yeah.
Jerry, do you wanna use it for the city council, or do you wanna use it for that contingency for that?
I'll do
Weekend?
the contingency.
Is there anything that came up last year that we needed to pay for?
Not really.
No,
But you said we budgeted in our city subsidies,
subsidies,
3,500.
yeah, chamber of commerce.
Right, but I was just saying, if there was something else that came up, if we wanted to use that for that, and just take this out of the city council thing like we did last year. But it doesn't matter to me,
Might
as
as well
long
use up
as-
the subsidy first.
Right.
as long as you guys don't think there's gonna be anything that would come up, like if there was last year.
The chamber wasn't on subsidies
No,
the
the
year
chamber-
before, we added them just for this purpose.
Right. So that's what I'm saying,
So
is
that's
if-
what we'll use it for, right?
Right, but that's what I'm asking, is if anything came up because of that weekend last year. Any other expenses?
I think the only other question that I would have, Elaine, is the fireworks, is there another line
That's
item?
another line item, it's already paid for.
Okay, cool, alright.
Wait,
So what are we going to get?
Well,
We got to vote on that too?
no, it's a budgeted item, a subsidy, when we get the bill, we just pay our 3,500, so, okay?
Okay, then I'll send it up to her and she will send it back down and then I'll send the deposit and I'll work with Elaine.
alright,
Good job, thank you.
I have one more, question. We had a little discrepancy last year about the street dance, and I wanna know how soon do we have to ask for the street, permit for liquor or beer or whatever it is,
to be able to sell.
to be able to
beer
sell
on
on
the street
yeah,
for a street dance.
how soon do I have to,
It needs to run through a council meeting,
okay,
so at least, to
event,
be safe, 3 weeks prior to the event.
okay, so anytime before July 1st.
So if they come in, if you come in June,
Might be more than that.
Yeah,
You have to
because you have to
notice.
put it in the notice in the paper, so
I'll
you
do at least a
need
month.
a month.
Okay, well, probably if you will probably just come next month and take care of that. Then we're, you know,
You just have to fill out a form and then we'll advertise it, and then there'll be a hearing, so you don't have to come just to, we got that, Elaine's got the forms.
okay, we'll get it done then, so we're ahead of the game, not one day prior,
What's the date
or
of the
2
street
days,
dance?
or was
What's the date of the street dance?
31st of July.
Oh, I was out of town that weekend last year. How did that work with closing off the street in front of?
It was, you know, a little cramped, but it worked out good. I mean, the dance turned out great. We, you know, had a good attendance, and Lonnie kept everybody that was purchasing their drinks up in the parking lot, and the rest of them, you know, would come down and dance, and then they'd go back up. And it was, like I said, it was a little cramped, but we did what we could.
All right. Thanks, Joanne and Doyle.
That is.
Is there anything else? Is there anything else?
I don't think so right at the moment. If there is, I'll be back.
Are those dates set in stone?
Yes, they are. We have everything going, car show, street dance, the vendor fair, bounce rounds, or, you know, they hold them for that day,
Okay.
and everything, so,
Tractor pull on Friday night.
and tractor pull on Friday night, that was very successful last year.
Do we need to request Chris Anderson to come in and talk to us too?
I did tell him to come tonight too, but I don't
For
know.
using that,
Sorry, they probably should, what's going on, yeah.
can you give Chris a message to come in probably in 2 weeks?
I will.
And are you guys doing the burnout contest that weekend too?
Yeah, that'll be lovely.
Same place it was last year.
Is it possible, because the first year we did it, there was open swimming. Is it possible, because we didn't have anything last year with the swimming pool because of COVID, is it possible to have that go again? You know, have
So just
the,
on Saturday?
Saturday, the day, for people who wanna, you know, if the weather's warm, send their kids in the pool?
We should bring Luke and Greg in before we
Yeah,
make any decision.
Okay,
I agree. People are
Okay.
getting talked to him.
We haven't decided if we're doing Beresford only yet at the pool, have we?
oh, okay,
Or if they have
That's
some possible
something
COVID.
Okay.
be
That's what we
assigned
did
again.
last year.
Yeah.
Basically,
Yeah.
school district residents only.
Yeah.
That's kind of how we did it.
How many days do we need us?
for what?
Just for
Police
security
department.
purposes?
Just Saturday night.
Okay.
Yep, well, maybe. Chris was, I don't know, they were talking about, having somebody they knew do security, so, I don't know.
You better be on ready.
We should talk about that.
You better be on standby.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure, be on standby.
I'll stop and talk to you.
The chamber will, you know, we'll figure that out too.
All right, thanks for coming.
Yep. All right. Thank you.
All right, committee report, Troy,
Do you
Art, and
need me to stay for my subsidy or no?
Unless you want to speak
No, but I just, if you had questions,
completely up to you.
I'll be impressed.
Okay.
Call over there.
all right, so the next item is committee report, street department.
Oh,
Troy Boone, Art, and I met with Jeff. Go ahead.
well, do you wanna do the talking, Jeff, or you want us to talk, or what do you wanna do?
You talk.
Basically, we visited about the Bros Engineering and the chip seal project. I think there was questions about if we were locked into anything. There is nothing that's locked in, other than, this is a 1-year deal. If we decide we don't wanna do it again, we don't have to. Everything they explained at the last meeting is what it is here. Basically, it's hands off for us. They watch them, they'll inspect it. Is there anything that you wanted to add to that, Jerry?
I think it's on the agenda down here, so we'll kind of talk about it more then. So, yeah, there's other stuff here.
Yeah.
Committee meeting, we'll talk about it.
Okay, the other thing was, the golf course, as far as the golf course, the parking lot's gonna be crack sealed, and then we're gonna do a sealer on top of that, and then we're gonna do the lines, and then all the bike paths other than 13th Street.
Are we getting ahead of ourselves? That's also on
No,
here.
we're just talking, this is what we talked about.
No.
Oh, all right.
And then, we're gonna do all the paths. And over by the park, there seems to be a little section, maybe about 150 feet. Jeff's gonna also do that. So all the cart paths and the bike paths, the entire golf course is gonna be done. And, when the budget's coming for that, Jeff's gonna help out a little bit, Greg's gonna help out, and Ben, so we got all the money, it's all in the budget's line items, and I figured out to the penny, so there's everything in there.
Okay, thank you, Art.
Thank you for letting me do it.
All right, department head reports. Start off with Michael Church, Police Chief.
I just want to make a recommendation to promote Michael Meinzer to police sergeant. Pursuant to the union contract, the wage would be $26.75 an hour. That'll be effective immediately. Michael's a 6-year veteran. He's been here for almost a year. I've worked with him for 6 years. Kind of my right-hand man. Helped me a lot with the evidence disposal, getting new radios in the cars, helping me wire the cars, fix the cars. I mean, he's the guy to go to. So I'd just like to make a recommendation to the council to promote him to the rank of sergeant.
Did he come from Sioux Falls PD or Lincoln County?
Lincoln County.
What was the last name, Mike?
Meinzer?
Meinzer.
So Doe moves to accept the recommendation to promote Michael Meinzer to the position of patrol sergeant at the wage of $26.75 per hour.
Shot second.
Motion's been made and seconded to promote Michael Meinzer to sergeant.
Effective immediately. Okay, throw that in there.
At the rate of $26.75 per hour, effective immediately. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anything else, Mike?
Not at this meeting, no,
All right,
good. Thank you.
thank you. Next department head report would be Jane Norling from the library.
I guess yearly, I always do a annual report that goes into the state library, so just giving you guys a copy of that. The little brochure is like, they take the main statistics and put in a little brochure for you. The other report is about 14 pages long, and it just is all the regular information about the library, how many items we have, what kind of checkouts we have, how many programs. There are some stats that compare to 2019, which I'll have you take that with a bit of a grain of salt, because of course we couldn't do near as much programming as we had the year before. But we're definitely on target for moving up our programming. We're planning a well-rounded summer reading with performers coming in, some outdoor activities when we can. We're going to do some online programming, some take-home. We're going to try to do things that will accommodate people that are not worried about COVID and people who are worried about COVID.
He's got one question. You're still on the library board for the state of South Dakota?
I am. That's a 3-year term.
You are?
It's a
I
3-year
really
term.
appreciate the work you're doing. Thank you. God bless you.
Any more questions for Jane? All right, thank you, Jane.
You're welcome.
Moving into old business, Beresford area radio flyers request to increase field size.
I think you guys left that at the meeting that Tom and I get together with Curtis and just kind of talk about it. Curtis was in the office and he has no problem with that. We just will take whatever the size that you guys had requested out there. He just said make sure that he can keep it at a straight line, make his job a lot easier. He doesn't want to cut it. He's got big equipment and it's hard enough to get turned around on that little slot, so. But he's okay with that, so.
Yeah, I think we would be okay waiting till he was done with this season,
Okay.
till the fall, so, just so that he doesn't have to, he's already put some work into it also, and to be honest, if he puts beans in there, it's a lot easier dealing with that than corn stalks this spring yet.
So you're okay with him planting all the way and then we'll work out
In the fall, yeah.
the next year's lease will change?
Yeah.
Okay. That makes it easier then. Good.
Can you draw straight lines, Brett?
Not very successfully, but I got kids that can help.
Okay. All right. A long string.
Yeah. I guess the only question I have would be, who would be my contact from city part of it when it comes time to mark that out, or?
You can get a hold of me, and then we'll get a hold of whoever else needs to come down, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks for coming.
All right, thanks much.
Do we need to approve,
Yeah. It's waiting on the agenda to approve it, so. That's why it wasn't done last meeting.
So you'll make a motion to approve the request to increase the field size starting fall of 2021, correct?
That's the crops. That's second.
Motion's been made and seconded to, increase the field size for the Beresford area radio flyers for fall of 2021. Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That motion passes.
Thank you very much.
All right, next item on the old business is community chip seal opportunity with the Bros Engineering. I guess we kind of touched a little bit on it from our committee report. Is there anything else that you wanted to add to it? Yep.
Yeah, I'll just, I talked with one of the finance officers that they're in their they'll be in their third year with Bros and this program. They said it's worked very well for them. They're spending quite a bit more than we are, because they're trying to help do their entire community in 3 years. They spent $200,000 the first year, and I think they spent $113,000 last year. So I guess I was kind of curious to see how much of those fees were tied up with the engineering and stuff. And the pricing that we have on this most recent update from Bros, the lump sum prices were all the same as they were last year. So for each of the communities, it's the same contract pretty much. So we have a lump sum fees of about $4,500. And then my question was, I wonder what they spend on construction inspection and quality control. They spend for 100 and they spend, let's see, I got the number here, a little over $4,000 on that. So based on that, we're going to spend about $1,754 is what we'll spend on the construction stuff. So our total engineering cost would be about $6,254 is what I'm estimating. So we're not going to spend the whole $10,000. We shouldn't anyhow. We're going to get probably about just shy of 20,000 square yards done this year. It looks like so.
And how does that compare to the way we were doing it in the past? We're gonna get a little less because they're involved.
Yeah, we're gonna probably get somewhere in the neighborhood of 37,000 square yards. Last year we were at just under 44,000.
I don't think we're gonna get that many, Jeff. They only have 33,000 up in flat. So
square yards.
Yeah. So we're probably gonna get closer to 20,000.
Oh, they were here last week.
Did they measure it out?
Yeah, he measured out. He
knows where budget is though.
Yeah.
Okay.
His budget was.
We got that much, and that'd be great.
He thought we were gonna be at between 36 and 37.
Okay.
We'll know more now because they're going to bids. We'll find out what the bid is. So that'll make a difference too. So.
Hopefully
it'll last a little longer. The last
do a little better job and no involvement from us, because by the looks of the seasonal hire list, it's getting tough to find summer help. So every hour we can spare our own time is a good thing.
The question that we had as a committee when we talked to Jeff, and like Jerry was there, but the committee's question is if we want to do 70,000 this year, what are we locked into 70,000 every year, and we can basically spend whatever we want yearly. So if we want to do 50 next year, we can do that. If we want to do 100, we can do that. So we're not locked into anything.
We did several years where we didn't do any. We did just the asphalt repair because we thought we better fix some of the streets with the big oils in it.
The other thing there was one other thing we talked about, which was I don't want to talk about that. We don't need to talk about other communities.
Is this considered like a contract because they do have the city of Kimball in there? Have you seen that?
Yeah, we got that switched on the new one.
Okay.
The issue in there. I didn't catch it. We didn't catch it beforehand. So we got an updated one here. So.
Okay, good. So do we need a motion to accept this? or-
Yeah.
Yes.
So motion to accept the, proposal of Bros doing our, city chip sealing.
Yep.
Per the bid put forth. What else do we need?
Chuck, second.
Alright. Motion's been made and seconded to, approve the Bros Engineering for the community chip seal, for this year of 2021.
Yep.
Okay. Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. We're moving into new business, pay request for number 6, or pay request number 6 for IES Commercial Inc., the 115 kV transmission line construction. Got that in your packet for the amount, is it the amount of $108,021.48?
No change orders or anything involved there, Jerry? This is
No,
just a straight up payment, alright.
No.
So Bill moves that we, approve the pay request number 6 from IES Commercial Inc. for the 115 kV transmission line project for a payment of $108,021.48.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded for number 6 pay request to IES Commercial in the amount of $108,021.48. Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. Next item is the subsidy drawdown request for the Beresford Community Covered. What was that amount?
Bill moves to approve the subsidy drawdown request to be Beresford Community Covered in the amount of $2,500.
Chuck, second.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve the subsidy drawdown request for the Beresford Community Covered in the amount of $2,500. Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. Next item is a quote to crack seal asphalt parking lot and cart paths and bike paths. Is that something, Jerry, that you have information on?
I think you could talk, Jeff probably knows a little bit more about that, and I think Art kind of filled you in pretty heavily on that one too, so. What is it, just parking lot improvements, the highway improvement, is that the name of the company?
Yep. Parking lot improvement.
Okay. So again, that was to take care of all of the parking lot, and the bridges, the back, cart path area, area behind, on the south side of the bridges, and then all of the cart paths out there, as well as all the walking paths, bike paths around that we have that run along and adjacent to the golf course, all the way from 13th Street down to the high school, so. Is that correct, Jeff? Is there anything else? Okay.
The only part of the bike path that, or walking path is what's along 13th Street. We'll do that when we do the street, so. Everything else gets done.
How long will these be down while they're being worked on?
They said they're gonna probably be here soon to do the crack sealing, and that's not gonna, a few days. And then when they come and do the sealing, there should be more than a few days for that either.
Or we can keep people off the paths while they're doing it, or, because it will be obvious that they're working on it.
They had something they were setting up to keep people off. The crack sealing part, that's not gonna matter, they'll cover that with toilet paper. I thought that they needed 6 hours, I think, for people, keep them from walking on the walking path, so.
Okay.
Even though Jeff didn't, Ben say he was gonna talk to the school when they did the parking lot to notify people who signed it if you need to park in the school.
Yeah.
Parking lot for that the school is gonna allow us to do that.
We can barricade that off too, so nobody drives on it, so that's not an issue. If they need that for the walking paths too, we'll put up horses there, or tape it off, or whatever.
Does the city need to provide the toilet paper?
No.
And this is entirely covered by the collective budgets, the line items for, okay.
And the company's name was Parking Lot Company.
Parking lot improvement.
Improve.
So there's actually two totals here then. It's 33,600 and some bucks, right?
Yeah, 33,641.99.
They need to be approved separately since they were quoted separately.
I don't think so.
And that doesn't have to be bid out, that amount?
No. You know, I look back at the ones from last year, these guys were the most cost efficient ones they had anyhow, so. By the square yard.
So Doden moves to approve the expenditure for the parking lot bike path improvements, and accept the quote from Parking Lot Improvement. And you know, might have to check my math here, I did it in my head, but a total of $33,641.99.
That's second.
All right. Motion's been made and seconded to approve Parking Lot Improvement Company for the amount of $33,641.99 to repair the parking lot, cart path, and bike paths. Any more discussion? Questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next item is step pay increase for Allison O'Connell for City Hall.
I would like to recommend approving Allison's step pay increase. She's doing a great job. Every time I ask her to do something, she jumps on it.
And what's the next step?
And so she'll go from $18.10 an hour to $18.62 an hour.
So I can make a motion to approve Allison O'Connor's pay increase to $18.62. Effective next payroll?
March 30th.
It says 4/9/21
Email
on our
says
email.
4/9.
It'll be on this payroll this week.
All effective this
Oh,
year.
I got you.
I'll second that.
That motion's been made and cited for pay increase for Allison O'Connell for the amount of $18.62 effective this payroll. Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next item is seasonal hires for the golf course, parks, schools, electric department, and public works. I think we had some paper with that.
Under the parks, I think the top four are all new hires. They all start at the lowest wage. Tyler knows one of the coming back. He does mainly, or he's supposed to be doing mostly just repairs of equipment to keep things running. He doesn't really know how much he's going to be using Tyler at all this year, but we wanted to put him on there, so if we do have some issues that way. We want to put Amber Sorensen, she would be starting at the golf course, just serve bartend. Max Orr would be on the outside there at $9.45 an hour. Larry Borden, he was hired a while back. And so in order to keep with whatever the minimum wage increase for all, plus the 20-cent bump, he would be up to $11.10 an hour. And Larry works kind of almost from now all the way through November area as he's available. So again, these guys are only getting hours that we need them. We don't schedule these guys 40 hours a week. And we use them as we need them, and all of them are hired that way. And then the street department, I think Jeff, want to say anything, Tyler Kopinski may or may not be back. He's got another opportunity and most likely will take that. So, but we do want to have him if that happens to fall through. And Bill Seaver will be used on strictly an as-needed basis with the asphalting and helping run the paving machine. So, and then Eric Knudsen will be doing the mowing for the electric department. I think in the past we've had somebody else doing that, and he's no longer going to do it. So he'll be at the minimum wage also.
Need a motion?
If you're ready to go, yeah.
Shopping motion for seasonal hires at golf course, parks, pools, electric department, and public works, as Jerry Simon stated.
Second. Okay, motion's been made and seconded for seasonal hires for the golf course, public schools, electric department, and public works. Is there any more discussion?
Yes. So last year, I know that we approved Tyler Kopinski's hire under a different job description than the other seasonal, and there was some discussion individually amongst council members. I guess I had a couple discussions with a couple different council members. In hindsight, I wish we hadn't done that. I think if I could continue to hire all the seasonal help under the seasonal job description, I just, I know that affects Tyler's wage scale, but I just felt like for consistency's sake, and there was, it just seems like it's starting a precedence that we don't want to start by putting a seasonal person in a full-time classification. Full-time, part-time classification, if that makes sense. So, I guess I have a little objection to that wage, that $13.35. I think he should be recalculated to the seasonal help and with plus his time of service, whichever that is. Anybody else feel like that?
Well, if I can add to that, our seasonal help it's not like we got them out trimming and mowing. We put Tyler, this was their fourth summer last year.
Mm-hmm.
We put him and Jack on that jetting machine, and they did all that jetting in Lincoln County. Basically, they did the jetting on their own, other than Keith maybe getting them started, checking on them once in a while. I'd check on them once in a while. That's not something that you just turn anybody loose with. We've got them driving mowing tractors, with those 3-point hitch mowers on the back, all kinds of stuff. I guess I was assuming that we were putting those guys in charge of a lot more things of importance than. Not that I'm not trying to downplay anybody else's job, but if we wouldn't have Tyler last year, we wouldn't have gotten as far as we did. I wish we could get him back again. I don't think we will. I guess the first year or two that we had him, I thought maybe he was underpaid.
I guess I'll add a little bit of my own thoughts too. I understand the 3-point hitch mowing, but it's not any different than a lawnmower, the golf course or in the park. So, yeah, I guess, when you run in the jetting machine, I understand it. Yeah, a little experience there goes a long ways. But the mowing was one of the things that I was like, I don't know if we want to be putting them on the lawnmower at 13, whatever we were paying them last year. So
what would you do with him this year if he was your only?
Well, we probably haven't gotten again, and he probably does the same things that he was doing before. He was going with Keith on meter install, curb stop service or curb stop replacements. He helped us with if we had to dig to replace something. He was there helping with that at different times. Those guys got a well-rounded.
I see them painting the intersections too, last summer. So is the machine, flushing machine, is that a 2-man operation? Do you have to have 2 people at that, or is that? That's what I thought. 2
people at least.
So if you only have 1 seasonal help person this year, then one of your other full-time employees is going to have to be there.
We'll have to. So if we get, Bill, I doubt that Bill's gonna be doing any filling this year. I'll probably get him to just answer some questions. And he didn't say to me last year that that was his last year, but his wife had made a comment.
So it was last.
But he retired, and I can say I wouldn't want to be standing on that hot thing. unless he really enjoys it that much, I don't see him coming back. So, and I think Greg has one of our, I can't remember the name that was on that one application. I think Greg probably picked that up. Like Renee was talking to me about it. I guess you probably wouldn't know. Maybe I can steal one away from him. There was one application where he said he would do anything. So.
I guess I don't. I get it that Tyler would make more if he comes here and works. We also don't have $9.45 an hour people out working at 2 o'clock in the morning when the sewer's backed up. I mean, they were out in front of my house, I think midnight one night, and those guys were out there helping. And you know, if we should have talked about it more last year, I would maybe agree with, we maybe should have talked about it more, but I don't think it's fair to go back and take money away from him after he's worked for that amount for a year already. My 2 cents.
Alright.
I would agree that we probably need to make it set going forward, but I agree that I don't know if we can go back.
I agree with Troy. We won't do it because, you know, he talked to me a couple times. I was there a couple times when Tyler was doing stuff that was way above lawnmower stuff, different hours or wacky hours. He was there.
Couple comments, so I guess one, there's no pool people on here, are we just waiting until
I'll
that?
tell you after you guys, after on the motion.
Okay. The second one is Greg and then other departments have voiced their opinions or concerns about the difficulty in hiring part-time people because we're starting at minimum wage. I can tell you one of the mowing companies in town starts people at $13 an hour. That's why Greg's having a hard time getting people to sit on a mower at the golf course for minimum wage. So I think that committee, whoever sets that, we probably need to evaluate these. The other category was the cleaning. I mean, I don't know if there's anybody in town that cleans for less than $20 an hour. You know, because it's such a short period of time that they're in cleaning. So I'm just saying, like, maybe we need to revisit our part-time wages.
Same with lifeguards. You probably think they're starting at $17 an hour now because they were having trouble getting lifeguards. So I think drivers who calls make $7 more now.
I agree too because I did check with Target, starting pay $15 1 hour. They don't care part-timers start at 15. I did check with Adams and Canton. They don't care what you do part-time, let it start at 17. Quality Park somewhere between 14 and 15. They don't care if you work an hour full-time. So I think $15, and I did check with Turkey Place. They're around just about $14.75 to 16 if you work 1 hour or whatever. So I think that $13 to $15 an hour is almost the going rate everywhere. I don't think it's going to get any better as it hasn't.
I think we should evaluate, whoever that committee is, we should evaluate those part-time
Alright.
starting wages.
Right.
But, on to this.
So the motion has been made and seconded to approve the seasonal hires as stated on the paper. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Just a heads up, we were still waiting on some lifeguard certificates and stuff. We've only got 7, I think, lifeguards so far. And we have 2 that applied for the management job, so we're gonna be short. So hopefully we can go and recruit some more. But like I said, the wages are probably gonna be a big issue. Most of these kids can start pretty much anywhere else making way more than what we're paying right now.
All right. Don't see anything in the discussion. Does anybody have anything in the discussion?
I just got one question. One of your workers in the office talked to me the other day about somebody coming in about the payment plan and utilities, and then she gave me my phone number. They didn't call me yet, but 2 or 3 other people did. And I said there is a budget that you guys work out if it's possible, but you got to adhere to whatever City Hall applies. We don't just do separate ones here and there. Whatever you guys work out, that's the deal. And this gentleman, this person kind of wanted to think that you're going to erase the bill. Doesn't work that way. I have no authority to do that. Well, I'll just let you know. We live over on First Street. So, you know, I don't mind talking to people about it, but I'm gonna refer them right back to City Hall.
Thank you, Art. Next item is approval of the travel request, Library Institute in Aberdeen, June 6th to the 11th.
Boone moves to approve the travel request.
Motion has been made and seconded to approve the travel request. Any more discussion? All in favor?
Yeah.
Opposed? Carries. Payment of bills.
Boone moves to pay the bills.
Boone would like to second that.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve the payment of the bills. All in favor? Opposed? Payment of the bills were done. Have to adjourn.
Boone moves to adjourn the meeting.
We are adjourned.
Pretty vague on that.
City of, limit.